What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, May 13th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. Happy Friday the 13th. Kind of a superstitious, spooky day, but it's in Taurus season. I mean, I guess the only spooky thing is that South Node in Sag with Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. You know, Uranus at 15 degrees. Nah, I hope you all had a good week. Gosh, Thursday was quite the day for me. Hope you guys all did well. It was intense. Let's look at Friday's horoscope, though, as we close out this week, calendar week. We got the sun finishing up at 22 degrees, coming to 23 degrees. It's one of those split days. We're back in like split day territory where the sun is in 2 degrees throughout the day. So we're starting to kind of, the energy shifts kind of halfway through the day, just like subtly, to where just because you wake up in one mood doesn't necessarily mean you're going to stay in that mood throughout the day. Kind of can still be erratic, a little all over the place in the morning, but the sun is on the other side of the North Node. And, that's a big once a year place where we start to look at where we're going in life and the values that we can lead forward with and really rely on. Like, what are we able to rely on within ourselves without looking so far at the opposition of that South Node about sort of the craziness or the intensities of life or what everybody else is doing. And we're seeing the sun start to square Saturn, so that's ramping up. Getting ready for that lunar eclipse, T-square Saturn. It's just like a lot of things. Time is an interesting thing. Like, what has run its course? You might be starting to see what aspects, especially within values in your life, what you value, what you want to hold on to, what's run its course, and what you have to disconnect from to move into another sort of area of life, a better, more bountiful area, even though it might not look like that. That's where we're kind of unfolding, and things can be a little crazy, but then it comes to a more mental state. Mercury's retrograde in Gemini, paying attention to what's close to you, really focusing in on the exciting things that are bringing value and letting go of what isn't. Sun and Mercury are the only two planets other than the moon, which of course is heading towards that South Node, but they're the only two, slower energies because the moon's very fast, right? That are on the other side of these nodes. So we're actually on the other side now, which I think is very interesting to think about, is that we're really going into the other side. So it's very, it reminds me of walking through a portal. Some people are a little weirded out by the word portal, but I feel like we're in quite an interesting portal that, wow, there's so much potential. There's so much, different ways to have a life that's fulfilling. And I think it's, Uranus at 15 degrees saying, hey, look at all these different ways to value your life. They might be kind of crazy. They might seem kind of weird, but they're ultimately like where everybody's going to going. It's like seeing into the future and being able to kind of put that into perspective and dedicate to those things and not feel like everything's just a big giant stop sign. There's going to be stop signs in life, but, how can we balance things out and bring, beauty into our life with the moon in Libra? The moon in Libra is also going to start off the day opposing Chiron. And, we're coming up on this weekend getting Venus Chiron for a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. We are definitely in a vulnerable place with our values and our relationships. And, we're starting to see where we've done the healing work and, we're drawing boundaries. Scorpio does bring up boundaries. So there's definitely, good boundaries in life that you want to set for yourself that are taking you to a better place within yourself and within what you can create in your environment and the things that are around you that are more focused on yourself. Remember, we're in a lot of Aries, Taurus, Gemini. I mean, these are very localized. It's you, the I am presence of Aries, and Jupiter's there expanding this new story that, we haven't been in since 2010. Like, where are things going to go? So much is ending to begin right now. Venus is here, paying attention to the relationship to yourself, the empowerment that you can give yourself to relate at a higher level, not as, not being in wounded relationships. With a moon in Libra and a Venus Chiron, like relationships are definitely, definitely at this point here. As the moon is going to, by tomorrow morning, square Pluto, retrograde in Capricorn, not quite today, but it is kind of building up. And with these aspects to Saturn, even the moon trine Saturn, we're having to take responsibility emotionally for what is more beautiful, harmonious, balanced in our life, especially when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to values. And you think about Venus here, it's in detriment, right? But it's sharing reception with Mars, and it's also sharing reception with the Sun, being in Taurus, Venus' sign, and then the Sun being exalted in Aries, Venus being exalted in Pisces, where Mars is at, and Mars is dignified in Aries. So there's a lot of this like I am that is so important for you to come to terms with and go on to that other side and start new stories and see what can expand within yourself. And definitely like not being in relationships that are going into a place that are not feeling empowering. Eclipse seasons always bring a lot of breakups. So, especially in Scorpio, where we can attach emotionally so tight, or can hold on so tight emotionally. We're at a time where we're, especially with all the Saturn squares that are coming, and even the moon's trine Saturn, it's like, hey, you can have more beauty if you, step up for what beauty will be in your life. And to have that relationship to the outer world or to other people that are on that more balanced, more in alignment place with where you're at, and putting yourself first, not second. It's not a good time right now to put yourself second, but Saturn does want you to, keep into account that other people are special too. Aquarius, everybody's unique and special. Of course, the opposite sign of Leo is like, no, I am special. I am king, queen. So we're having to learn these lessons, but there is this release point coming this weekend to Leo with that T-square in the lunar eclipse where, wow, so much about how we relate outside of ourselves. Gosh, you better have a good, confident aura within yourself. You better know that you got it right now. You better be confident and courageous and have that valor within yourself. That's the other side, and that's where it's so important on this Friday here to not be spooked by the world, to not be spooked by anything, but to see where the bounty and the beauty in life really is, and to keep staying stimulated in that area. Mercury retrograde's actually helping with that, because the little things that are going haywire, if they are just like, hey, this isn't the environment. This isn't the sort of thing that you want to be putting your mind and concentrating on. Like there's something else. So it's about seeing where Spirit, especially with Neptune, Mars building up on their conjunction and Mars making good aspects to these nodes, there is definitely a spiritual cleanse that's happening to so many people in this little portal that we're in, and it can feel like a lot's dissolving away. So much is dissolving, especially as we get that moon in Scorpio coming into this weekend and building up for the lunar eclipse. Things are just kind of running their course, and even with this aspects to Saturn, everything has an allotted amount of time, and the time is up for things right now. We live in a time where we have to be accepting and willing, and still be courageous to let things go and to see where new stories can build. There's a lot of new energy, so being excited for the new, stimulated by what can be. Not falling into traps of the old, or feeling, I'll be honest, even Mars, Neptune is very tiring. We can feel exhausted or tired. It is making good aspects to the Sun. So there is vital energy, but it's more for a very creative, open, perspective and intuitive guidance way of what is possible and how to create it and how to use, these different chambers in your being to unlock this great potential without getting hung up on crazy, radical aspects that might be going on in your personal life, that might be going on in your relationship life, in the world, in the markets, dealing with money. There's a lot of things that are taking place now and even moving forward where it's like, just let it go. Just let it go. Stay focused on you, things you can create, and wherever you have to make a pivot, it's a better pivot for your soul. That's actually a big cleansing moment here. So Friday, might be spooky, but at the end, it's like, in a lot of ways, seeing the other side of what can be. seeing that there's better things out there, and that, you don't have to put yourself through torture. You don't have to get hung up on all these details. It's picking the details in life that you want to be attached to, that make you feel really good, that are not trying to leave. Because if things are trying to leave, there is definitely a reason right now that it's not spiritually aligned. And that's a hard one in a material world, to have that spiritual awareness, to be like, wow, I thought this was, or I, felt like this was the thing, but it's actually going a different direction. And the healing that comes from that is actually going to build so much confidence and so much empowerment within yourself that you will see that anything is possible. So it's definitely major times these days. Big moments. Big moments. Love and appreciate you all, as always. Hope you have a great Friday. I haven't used my Botticelli deck in a while, so let's see what the old Botticelli has for us. Two of Wands. Finding creative routes. What's going to bring this sort of energy of like dancing through life in a more fun, kind of looking out like, wow, there's a lot of options. I can choose better things, more creative things, more things that my heart wants, not getting hung up on the details necessarily, but just letting the heart guide the way. The heart, the sun, is on the other side now. So this is a big moment. The mind's been there and then it went retrograde. The heart's finally on the other side of these nodes, and seeing where the true identity of value and valor and really good things can be. You just have to kind of listen to that and make the choices from there. We also got the Chariot card upright. Really, we are moving on. This is kind of leaving things behind and being ready to let's go forward here. Let's go forward and see where the emotion can take us, and see where spirit's guiding us. And it can feel like we're starting to see, wow, there are really big things behind us, right? There's usually a castle behind the Chariot card traditionally. And, just seeing that we are leaving an old world behind to go into a new world. Who knows exactly what that looks like, but there's a curiosity here that feels like it's just right for you, and that you're just kind of being pulled where you need to go. That's going to be the most important thing to follow. And overall, we got 3 of Pentacles upright. So very good cards for this Friday. I think that we need to pay attention to what we're building and who we're building it with. And, if the vibe's right, the vibe's right. You're going to see where things aren't in alignment and things are not, they're not it. And you got to pay attention to what that is for you, and not put other people's wants and needs above your own right now. That's probably going to get you into a very interesting entanglement. So, there's definitely energy that wants to build with you. It's probably way easier to see. Pentacles is very physical, like it's probably very obvious. It's probably not hidden who's building with you, and you can build great things with those people. The people that are not building with you right now, I'll be honest, this is one of those times coming into this Friday and into this weekend where you just got to move on. Things are going to leave one way or another. Sometimes Saturn, especially with Saturn squares, it's definitely about making that, hard or big decision in your life for better, more connected relationships, especially with people, friends, groups. Where's the alignment at? Very important. So sending you all my best. Hope you have a great Friday, and I'll catch you all for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Much love. Peace.